It's me. I'm your karma. You know, us as females, sometimes we gotta let each other know how to treat a man and how to keep a man. Get down, move it all around. Y'all better pop it till you feel it coming down. Break it up, and slowly bring it down. I guarantee they gon' make you go wild. Get down, move it all around. Y'all better pop it till you feel it coming down.
Testing. Mine is on.
My mic is not on. Hey everybody, welcome to House of Karma. I'm your host Carmen Serrano, aka I am your Karma, and I'm here with the lovely Keke Kwyatt.
Yes, hello. Quiet. Yes, correct. Be quiet.
Welcome.
My pleasure.
To start the show. Let me just check your mic
Sure.
real quick. Just but I
wanna
don't see no green light.
Invite everyone to
So, you came all the way from Queens.
Yes, I did.
Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Queens, Jamaica, Queens, Laurelton. Shout out to everybody in Laurelton.
Okay.
Queens Village.
And your
all over
nationality?
Queens. I'm born here, but my family's Jamaican and British.
Nice.
Yeah. Shouts
nice.
to 21 Savage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how long have you been an artist?
Ooh, a long time actually. I've been an artist. I'm a grown woman. I'm not gonna say my age, but I've been an artist probably since getting fresh out of high school.
Okay. Okay.
Like pretty much right after high school.
And what inspired you, like, to want to perform and put yourself out there?
Well, honestly, what gave me the love of performing was my my old music teacher. Her name was Miss Moore Dixon. I was actually talking to my brother about her earlier today. My brother, my sisters, we all had her, and she gave me that love of performing. You know, she kind of like pushed me to the front where I was kind of just hiding in the background, and I kind of liked it out in the front. So
Okay.
yeah, that was pretty cool. Shouts to Miss Moore Dixon.
Absolutely. We have a mutual friend.
Yes.
Magic Reed.
Yes.
Shout out to
Shout
Magic.
out to Magic Reed, my boo.
How long have you been working with him?
Wow, off and on, it's, I think we got together, I want to say around 2005 and 6. We did a pilot for a show, and that was crazy. It was a great experience. It was way ahead of its time, but the show was called The Label, and it was basically about trying to find that artist for your label that you're gonna put out there, and the stories, and it was crazy. We had a lot of fun doing it. It was very funny.
That's
Very
awesome.
funny,
You know, Magic was the one who has always pushed me because I've always been shy and, not too sure about myself. And one thing I can say about him is he always told me, "You're a star. You're gonna be a star." This is before
he's definitely very motivating and very inspirational.
This was before I even thought about having a show or anything. I had put out a little BS track out there, and but it's good to have positive, because
Absolutely.
that he's very genuine.
Yes.
And if you're not talented, you're not talented.
That's a fact.
He's gonna tell you.
Because he'll tell you right out, like, that's ass. And we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
You should try a little bit harder.
It's very, if he likes it, you got something. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's important.
That's one thing. And even though he's all the way in West Bubblesuck, Bayonne, New Jersey, but it's worth it. I recommend everybody
Absolutely. Shout
to
out
go
to
to
the Hits Lab.
The Hits Lab
Bayonne, New
studio.
Jersey. Check 'em out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me about yourself. Where have you been, and where are you going?
Well, I'll tell you. I'm a female rapper. I'm from Queens. I used to go by the name Marcia Vega, so people know Vega. Keke Kwyatt is a new thing, but Keke Kwyatt came about. I just kind of wanted to, I guess, reinvent myself and separate myself from all the things that I had done previously, and just kind of really get out on my own. So the whole Keke Kwyatt thing is it's kind of like a battle, the Keke versus the Kwyatt. What the things that's okay to express versus the things that's not so okay to express, and people's opinions on that. And I'm a very outspoken person, and I deal with people's opinions all the time about what I said, and oh, you shouldn't have said that, or you shouldn't have said it like that. So all of those things kind of come together.
Okay, I definitely feel that. Um, from a female's point of view, growing up in the era, I'm assuming that you must be around my age. With how do you feel about this new generation of rappers like Nicki
Mhm.
Minaj and Cardi B and the other ones that are really getting a lot of noise, but
Mhm.
like Cash Doll.
Right.
And because I feel like Cash Doll she's pretty dope, but she doesn't get as much recognition as she should.
Mhm.
How do you feel? What do you feel is the toughest part about the industry as a female rapper coming out
Like
there?
now, I think the hardest part is that, you know, and this is not directed at anyone, but pretty much everything is fake. You know, everyone's got fake boobs or a fake booty, and that's just the start of it. But then you have their images, which, I'm sure it's a little real, a little fake. There's both in it, but it's not really relatable in the sense that, when I grew up, we had music that kind of told a story that if we were going through something, we had a particular song that we chose that we wanted to hear. And I think this music that's out now doesn't give you, I'm not going to say it doesn't give you that, but it doesn't give you enough of that. I think a lot of it is kind of just filler. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Because, like, I remember growing up listening to, like, Queen
Mhm.
Latifah and MC
Right.
Light and even, like, TLC. Like,
Yeah.
TLC was, like, it had all three, all the
Right.
vibes that
Mhm.
somebody now will have in one.
Right.
But it still takes away, like, that authenticity
Right.
because it's
Exactly.
not,
And that's
like,
very important. That's very important.
absolutely.
Mhm.
So,
Especially, as a woman, it's very difficult, and I really wanted to get us away from being told what to do. Having a man tell you how you should express yourself, how you should dress, what you should
yes.
say. We are totally capable of thinking for ourselves, being creative on our own, and things like that. So I kind of just wanted to encourage, women to take more charge of your own creativity, your own expressiveness, things like that.
Right. Going back to like the sexuality and all
Mhm.
that stuff, like back in the days, you didn't have to like show as much
Mhm.
as you do now. Like,
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's another thing that, my image, the image of Keke Kwyatt is definitely very sexy and very, um, it's in that
it is
lane.
real. All your
It,
stuff is
it is
real.
real, but not only that, it's also a marketing tool, and I'm not afraid to admit that. We all know sex sells. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And the fact of the matter is, a lot of the larger female artists have been very in control of their sexuality and their images in that respect. And I don't want to be any different from them. I
Right.
want to be like the greats, obviously, not like the ones who come and go. But
Right.
again, it's about being confident in yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that confidence in yourself, no one can tell you, put on that bathing suit or get on that bike or whatever. It's not going to come across that way if it doesn't come from the inside. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But again, we could all stand to be a little more confident in ourselves, and
Absolutely.
things like that.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, look at Missy Elliott. Like she's
And I love Missy, by the way.
she's come a long way, and I don't ever remember her once
Hmm.
showing off her
Well,
goods.
let's not forget, Missy had a lot to deal with when she was coming up too, because she was part of a group called, I think it was called Sister. I don't know if you remember that.
Mhm.
So I think it was like a 4-girl group, and the other 3 girls were like skinny, light skinned girls or whatever. But Missy was the one doing all the work. She was the one writing all the songs, arranging everything, So, but
And then she was
she
a
didn't
little
have,
heavy
right.
at the
She didn't have
time.
that quote unquote image that they wanted to put in the front. But you see how the tables turn. We don't know where those other girls are now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
And
overall, it was her talent that really
Yes.
put her out there.
And I feel like she must be related to Benjamin Button because it's like
yeah,
the older she gets, the better she looks. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God,
Definitely.
that's Missy.
Definitely, she's awesome.
Like-
I love her. I love her.
Absolutely.
A big fan of Missy. Definitely.
So I'm gonna ask you one more question before we go to the commercial break.
Sure.
If you had to how we have a lot of kids nowadays, they go through school
Mhm.
bullying, and it's mostly I don't know if you heard the news about this girl in the Bronx who actually was bullied into, I think she was like 14 years old. She was bullied into performing a sex act on these two kids, and then she was
Oh my goodness, I did not
she
hear
was
about that. No.
going, telling the school about it, the counselors and stuff, and they didn't do anything, and eventually she ended up committing suicide. What advice would you give to these young girls nowadays that feel the peer pressure of like having to have
Mhm.
sex or oral sex?
I'm glad. That's a great question. That's a great question for two reasons. One, because like I said, my music has a lot of sexual content, and two, because my album is called the Suicide Mixtape. So I want people to understand I'm not promoting suicide. Obviously, the reason my album is called Suicide is because it was an outlet for me to keep myself from going to a dark place. Me focusing on the music allowed me to stay, on a certain level. And I just want girls to know, and my album is a testament to you guys too, as far as, be aware of the people around you, you know, especially when you're young, peer pressure is a real thing. Being peer pressured into performing a sex act is, I mean, that's way, way beyond anything reasonable. But, we have to be careful being peer pressured by even people we like sometimes. When you like somebody, you care about them or you admire them, it's easier for them to influence you. And that's why we have things like the situation with R. Kelly. He has all these female fans that are in love with him. So it's very easy for him in some respects to have that influence over them, even to the degree of, what we see going on. So, you know, some things you can't prevent, but again, it has to do with people taking care of each other and taking care of the people in your circle, being there for them, having that open line of communication. So, young girls can have someone to say, listen, this is happening and I'm not fully comfortable with it and I don't understand. And someone can say, listen, that's not okay. So
Absolutely.
don't make yourself okay with it. It's not okay. So a lot of it still boils down to communication.
Absolutely. And not only that, but also a lot of it's important for these kids to know that a lot of the things that you see on TV are not real.
Right.
Like I catch myself telling my kids all the time, monsters are not real. Like, ghosts are not real, because they was like, oh, the ghost or the monster, the boogeyman. And I'm like, it's those things are not real. What you see, Chucky is not real. What you see on TV is a lot of times is just an image. It's,
Right.
It's not real. So, yes, a lot of these, it's women, they promote sexuality because they want to promote feminism. Like, you should be proud of your body,
Right.
which as women, we should be
Of
proud
course,
of our body.
absolutely.
Doesn't matter the size that we are,
Whatever size you are.
but at the same time, like a lot of the stuff that you see is not real. So
and
you
they
don't.
kind of force feed it to
Yeah.
us. So yeah,
Indeed.
it's a form of programming and conditioning. So what I try to do is get in the program, but I have my little underlying messages.
I mean, but you're a grown
but,
woman though,
yeah.
so your music, and then it's kind of like what Cardi B, I guess, was trying to say. Like she didn't mean to be a role model to these girls, like
right.
she's not promoting stripping and all of that. It's just that was her lifestyle that she was living.
Cardi B is still very young too. So I wonder, I may catch flack for saying this, but I wonder sometimes because, of course she's proud that she doesn't have to strip anymore. But then remember when she did that performance when she was pregnant with, was it her and Bruno Mars? She had that white outfit, like the TLC outfit. She's pregnant and like throwing it, and I'm like, girl, you don't gotta be doing all of that with your belly and everything, But again, we should all be proud of whatever path leads us to where we are in life and all of that. But I think Cardi B secretly still wants to be a stripper. I don't know. You know what I
Well,
mean?
we're gonna have more with Miss Keke Kwyatt.
Yes.
Right after this commercial break. Stay tuned.
All right, let me see if I can
Guns in America. Guns in America.
This song is dedicated to all the lives that was lost Over the years to gun violence in America, it's time for a change. Mr. President, people of the world, it's time for the truth to be told. But with the rhymes in my mind, the rhythm in my soul, the mic in hand, I'm in control. Till you're evil-minded, I don't mean to be bold, but when I'm on the mic, you're all on hold. Tell the people in the place I will be polite. And tell your evil-minded people, tonight's my night. Guns in America. Guns in America. Innocent lives are taken every day by people with guns who attack their prey. Not only in America but around the world. A life is worth more than money or gold. From the island of Jamaica to TNT, to the streets of New York, we need unity. A gun in the wrong hands makes matters worse. I'm tired of seeing innocent lives in a hearse, God knows. Guns in America. Guns in America. Now as we prepare to bury the dead, we should be celebrating life, happy birthdays instead. It starts with the government to make a change. All lives matters, is that so strange? Between heaven and hell, that's where we stand. For those who disagree, show a wave up your hand. From America, London, and even Japan, we gotta make this place a better land. Guns in America. Guns in America. Is it to protect and to serve and protect? Certain agencies carry for respect, like the FBI, the DEA, the CIA, and the NRA. Homeland, on the other hand, can't control guns across the land, so let's keep it simple, simple and plain. Keep the guns out the hands of the insane. Guns in America. Guns in America. Now, children of tomorrow, you're the children of the light. I'm gonna take you on a serious flight throughout the world, throughout the land. Children of tomorrow, please try to understand the way things are in the world today. I don't want you all to go astray. You just listen to your parents and hear what they say. Where there's a will, there's a way. Guns in America. Guns in America. Now dig it. I try to keep the faith for a better day, but it's up to the president and the NRA. It's time for a change. G-Lights on the mic. Chris is on the beats. D. Carma, engineer. We at Studio 13. And Guns in America.
Hi guys, welcome back to House of Carma. I'm your host Carmen Serrano, and I'm here with rapper Keke Kwyatt. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about your music. So you've been rapping for a little while now, and we spoke about your inspiration was your teacher, high school teacher.
Well, that was my inspiration as far as being a performer, but as far as like who I listen to musically, wow, I listen to actually mostly reggae. I listen to a lot of reggae. If I was gonna describe this way,
down a little towards the mouth.
this way, okay. If I was gonna describe, who Keke Kwyatt is like, I would say she's like a. Are you familiar with the Jamaican artist Spice?
Yes, I love
would
Spice.
say I'm like a half Spice, half Mary J. Blige, but rapper version.
Okay.
So I said, and you see Spice, she's very sexually charged, very energetic like that.
Yes.
But then Mary J. Blige was more of like the relationship expert or go-to girl. You know what I mean? So I think I got like a little bit of both. Just how I manifest it.
So is it safe to say that your sound is reggae?
It's definitely reggae influenced. I wouldn't say that. I have a couple of songs that I do over reggae tracks, but I didn't chat reggae on them. I still rapped over them like I do. But it's definitely, the influence is there as far as the content and things like that.
And growing up Jamaican, what was like your biggest challenge? I would say with with being accepted, I guess you could say, in your community, because like if I'm gonna assume, since you're Jamaican American, that, see, because I'm half Dominican, half Puerto Rican, but my family in DR, they don't accept me all the way, and then my Puerto Rican family, they're all in the Bronx. So like in DR, they'll call me Bori, like Puerto Rican, and then the Puerto Rican, they'll call me.
It's like to my American friends, I'm Jamaican, but to my Jamaican friends, I'm American.
American,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like weird, but you know how I look at it is like you, for example. So your background is Spanish. So, but if you hear an American-born person speaking Spanish, no one would ever say anything. But when you hear an American person speaking Jamaican, it's like, you ain't Jamaican,
right.
And it's like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? But I didn't really have a problem as far as that.
They don't tease you a little bit with your accent and none of that?
I mean, I'm born here, so I don't really have an accent unless I want to have one, unless I feel like having one right now.
Yeah.
But I just noticed, I think it bothers the American friends sometimes when you embrace your Caribbean roots. I don't know why. They feel like, oh, you're American. Don't talk.
Because they don't have that little bit of.
I mean, maybe
edge
that's
in them.
what it is, but I feel like it's unfair. Like I said, if it was a Spanish person, you would never say anything. If you heard an American-born Spanish person talking to their parents, you would never say, oh, don't speak Spanish.
Oh, but the Spanish people will be like, oh, did you hear the way she spoke that broken Spanish?
Well,
oh my God!
Always got something to say. Always.
Absolutely. I had the pleasure of meeting Marcia Griffith one time.
Oh, really?
In Brooklyn, and she was a really, really sweet lady. And so I know, like, reggae to you must be a huge influence growing up, and it was an influence for me. And I'm not even, I'm not Jamaican, but that's where like reggaeton came from.
Right.
Reggae.
I always wonder, because I really love reggae music, and I wonder if I connect with it that way because of my background. I know plenty of people from other backgrounds connect with it the same, but I just wonder how is it to them in that it's not like native to them. You know what I mean? So, I hear some Spanish music that I love too, but I don't know what they're saying.
Right.
So I connect to the rhythm and the vibe of it, but I can't say I fully connected because I don't necessarily understand. So I guess that's the same question I'm asking. Like, I know some Jamaican music is not understandable to non-Jamaicans.
I think it's the rhythm, the music, the vibes. Yeah, because like my husband, he's from Trinidad.
Okay.
And he'll be like, he loves reggaeton. And then I'll be explaining to him what they're saying, and he's like, that doesn't make no type of sense. I'm like, yeah, but in Spanish it does, but in English it makes no type of sense. Like, it's all messed up. So let's talk about your music a little bit. The song that you're gonna be performing today.
Yes, I'm gonna be performing "Can't Stop," which is number 6 on the album. It's definitely one of my favorites. It was basically, most of my album was inspired by, relationships that I've been in and things like that. So it's that type of song. It's basically, when somebody's on your mind and they might not be around and you're thinking about, wondering what they're doing, hoping, y'all will get back together or whatever the case may be. So it's kind of like that.
And I'm pretty sure, a lot of us women and some men can relate.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we're living in a generation and a time where I feel like love is it's hard for people to show love. Mm-hmm. Everybody have their guards up.
I think people don't even really know what love is or what it's supposed to be anymore. So it's just so complicated now, And
people get into situationships and then they start texting, you start feeling people, and then you don't hear from them no more.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
From one day to another.
great. It's definitely not what they told us it would be like when we were growing up. You know, they told us, oh, you find somebody, you get the white picket fence and the house
Yeah,
and the
you
kids
get
and the
married.
dog.
Yeah.
It's not. When you look
Yeah.
around you, that's not what you see. I mean, everyone's raising other people's kids, or you know, they're in some twisted, illegitimate, complicated type of relationship, or with somebody they shouldn't be with, or you know, it's just everything is just mixed up. So it's hard. I mean, how much can you blame people for not knowing where they find themselves in the midst of all of that? So,
Absolutely.
you know.
Also, I would like to remind the audience, if you guys have any questions for Miss Keke Kwyatt over here, the
Keke Kwyatt.
Quiet, sorry. The telephone number is 347-640-3920. 347-640-3920. Going back to your music,
Yes.
what is your favorite song from your whole album?
My
And why?
favorite song from my album is Fool. And the reason that's my favorite song is because I just love the finished product of it. I love the way, shouts to Magic again, he mixed my tracks down. I love the way the mix down came out. I love the way the beat drops. I love the way I rode the beat, you know, and that song is kind of like a breakup song. It's basically, and you know, I try to make a song that we all can relate to also. You know,
Absolutely.
sometimes you're with somebody, it doesn't work out, and you know, the person made a big mistake by letting you go, and it shows, and it's very obvious. So it's basically about that, like, you looking crazy out here now that you messed this up with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think we all can relate to that. We all have somebody that messed up real bad, you know?
Absolutely. How many songs are on your album?
It's 14 songs and 2 bonus tracks.
Wow. And I know that was a lot of work because just recording 1 or 2 tracks is hard.
Definitely.
So I can imagine a
I
whole
loved
album.
every moment of it, though. I loved
So what
every
was the
moment.
most difficult part of writing, you know, finishing up your album?
Wow, the most difficult part? That's a good question. I kind of really was in a bit of a flow with doing it. Fool was actually the last song that I wrote, but I really liked the way that I did my album in that I didn't do it like song by song. I kind of knew what I wanted the whole album to be like, and I kind of just created it all together. So it was a lot of fun. You know, I felt like a true artist, I guess, doing it that way. And it was very inspiring. I'm proud of myself that I was able to complete it.
Absolutely.
You know, I know, and again, this is not a stab at anyone, but I know tons and tons of underground artists and actors and singers and things like that. And not many of them have, you know, seen their ideas through to a completion. So I'm very proud of myself that I completed the album and I put it out there.
Absolutely. Like I said, I know that completing an album is hard work, and it also takes a lot of dedication.
Definitely.
And you have to actually love what you're doing. Because,
Absolutely.
you know, a lot of people, they record and some of their music sounds like trash.
Right.
And it's like who's the producer that produced this and told you that you was actually that you should finish this? You know what I mean? After that first track, you should have stopped.
Yeah, it happens. But you know, I mean, it's sad because rapping is the type of thing everyone thinks they can do it. You know, and theoretically, anyone can spit some words, but you know, to be an artist it's just rap is your art, but are you an artist? You know what I mean? Can you put a feeling into your music? Can you make someone have a certain memory, or you know, things like that? You know, things that the music of the older days used to do for us.
Yes. What song would you say from back in the days was something that you grew up, that you always, to this day, that you can say, yeah, I remember that song, and that song motivated me to start writing? Or
wow, I have a lot of songs that inspired me. I think probably the person who inspired me as a rapper the most, and I don't want to single him out because I have tons of influences, but Nas has just been, he's just so creative sometimes, and the things that he can do with words is amazing. And I don't
Absolutely.
think that many people have been able to touch the level that where he's gotten at. And it's very inspiring. Me personally, I really have a love for words. I love the way you can put words together and make them mean one thing and another thing at the same time.
Right.
So, just but again, when I was in college, we were beatboxing on the table and banging on tables, and kids were freestyling in school, and that was inspiring too. Because I used to be like, wow, you just came up with that like just now. It was crazy. And I was fortunate enough, especially when I was in college. Shout out to Temple University, to you, Mup. But I had a lot of really, really dope rappers that I came across. And they definitely inspired me. I didn't learn from nobody whack. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
I wasn't definitely inspired by anybody who was trash. All good people out there.
Well, times have definitely changed. The rap from back in our time, in our days, to now has changed so much. Like I can't get with the times. I can't because I'm also an artist, and I'll sit down and I'll start writing some stuff, and I can't get with the
right.
I can't do it. I just, it's not in me.
I don't understand it most of the time, or I have to I feel like I'm listening so hard, and then when I realize what I'm listening to, I'm like,
and it's not like, because how generations and times change. So like what our parents listened to, it was so different from what we listened to, and they thought probably what we listened to was garbage, and now we're thinking the same thing, but this generation really is different.
Well, you know what? It's like sometimes I don't want to say that it seems like the music gets dumber with each.
I feel like they're lazy.
Is it laziness?
Like they just don't want to.
One thing, remember, like our parents' music, it was more subtle.
Right.
So they had some music where they were talking some dirty stuff, but they were saying it in a way that was nice. So when the kids were listening to it, we could sing along with it, and it didn't sound dirty, even though it was.
Right.
But now, some of the things I hear on this radio, and listen, I'm not judging, but like I said, my music is explicit also.
Right.
But Cardi B said, what did she say? I don't swallow Plan B. I just swallow the.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, whoa, like this is on the radio, like like kids are hearing this when you're driving to school with them in the morning, and I'm like, like you gotta have a lane for that. That should be like nighttime radio. I don't know.
I feel like nowadays, there's so like before, like you couldn't even say the word bitch on TV.
Right.
You get the
you're right.
And now everything is so explicit.
Definitely.
But this is so crazy because this is the same generation that are so offended over everything.
Right. They're soft.
How are you such a crybaby over that? But then you sitting here and you're saying this and that. You know what I mean?
You're right.
But then the first ones who it's like they have no value for human life and no respect for the elders. Mm-hmm. And definitely. I feel like that's a what's that word? A recipe for disaster.
Right.
Because this is the generation that's supposed to.
Well, we're not, I mean, I guess every generation gets a little softer in terms of like parenting and stuff like that. For example, I was the oldest child, so I was the experiment for everything. So my younger brothers and sisters, they had it easier.
They got away with everything.
Right. So it seems that as time goes on, people just get more lenient and more lenient. And it's to get to the point now, anything goes. Pretty much anything goes. So it's like, how do you like fit into that? It's difficult. It's like no morals, no standards, and things like that.
Like,
so it's
but
hard.
like even going on the bus or the train, like there was a group of kids. I was on the train, a group of kids, standing waiting for the train with me, and as soon as the bus came, I peeped the seat. I'm like, I'm gonna go sit right. I'm pregnant or whatever. As soon as I walk in, like the girl damn near like pushed me to the side and ran to the seat, and I'm like. Little.
I mean, I was a pregnant New Yorker also, so I know they don't. This is still New York.
They don't
even when you're pregnant, And yeah, it's crazy.
It's
But I was
crazy.
taking those iron pills, girl. I felt like I was so strong. I was ready.
Girl, let me tell you about those iron pills.
I
I'm
was
not
ready.
taking them no more.
I was ready to knock somebody out.
That
like,
be
if
having
you
my
touch
stomach
my...
all.
Oh,
Ugh,
well,
I
yeah.
can't. Ugh.
I felt strong though. I felt like
Yeah.
something.
Maybe that's why I have a little bit more energy now. But oh my God, my
Yeah.
them iron pills are no joke.
But no, you're right. You're pregnant. You should be able.
But
to,
it's not
you
even
should
that.
expect
It's
somebody to give
also
you a
like
seat.
the elderly. Like I seen this older lady with this little boy. He had to be about 4 or 5 years old, and this girl sitting down. The seat next to her is completely empty. Instead of just scooting over, you know what I'm saying? The little boy and the lady are standing there on the bus doing all of this. I had to tell the lady, like, tell her that she could scoot over.
Exactly right.
And then the girl just got up, like, I guess she felt some type of way. But it's like, why do people have to tell you, can you scoot over? Like,
I think someone showed me. Oh no. It was a friend of mine was telling me. She was on the train and someone got up and gave his seat to like an elderly white lady. And then a few stops down now, the same person, the lady starts to get off the train. She didn't want to get up. She like flagged down another white lady and like waited for her to get to her seat before she got up. So my friend is like, like really? And I'm like,
it's
what do you it's sad, but what do you do?
Absolutely. But we're gonna continue on with this conversation and also a live performance.
Yeah,
Keke Kwyatt.
Keke Kwyatt.
Why do you call you Wyatt?
Because that's what's familiar to you. So
I'm expecting you to sing gospel.
No, not that. I definitely don't do gospel.
Right after this commercial break.
Quiet.
They say that seeing is believing. Thoughts running through my head got me to thinking, really wondering, man laying in my bed. 'Cause you're not who you claim to be, running around causing misery. So how can I continue blind? It's time to open my eyes, babe. Tears I cried yesterday, I cried gonna be in vain. Oh no, yes, we all can make mistakes. I was thinking that you're gonna change, and that you're gonna change. The love that lives in me got you thinking that I won't leave. It's time to set me free. Going there at your last, saying there at your last. Know that I love you, no denying. Think that'll always be. But you got me thinking, really wondering, does your heart still rest with me? See you come from a line of minutes. Say they won't do it again. I wanna believe you, but my common sense kicks in. Wanna accept you for. I wanna place the blame. I need you to see the tears. I want you to try again. You're my pleasure, you're my pain. For you I gave all. Just wanted to love you, I wanna stay, but I cannot continue to love you blind. And I'm gonna be in vain. Mistakes, I was thinking that you're just I'm thinking, baby. Love that lives in me got you thinking that I won't, you thinking that I won't leave. Time to set me free. Going there at your legacy, going there at your legacy. All this love you've been wasting, way you up to play with. All this love you've been wasting, way you up to play with. So baby, go on.
everybody. Welcome back to House of Karma. I'm here with the lovely rapper Keke Kwyatt. I said it right the right time. And you're going to be performing
Can't Stop.
Can't Stop. And
Number 6 off the Suicide Mixtape. Check me out. I'm on everything. Tidal, Spotify, iTunes, Apple. You name it, I'm there. Look me up.
Absolutely. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. It's all on you, girl.
I never expected to be feeling you. Slid in your DM one day like, what's the deal with you? Want some French, not no potential. On the strength we knew each other back when. I heard you got incarcerated, got you back now. Social media looking like you on the right track now. I'm happy for you, it's good to see you. It's been forever since we seen each other in the hood. This conversation tastes like something fresh. I feel compelled to address the way we mesh. Sounds so real, something that could be bona fide if we only took our time and tried. I know you're not perfect, but neither am I. But you appeal to my intellect and my desire. I want to see where this ride goes. Only time knows, but these thoughts in my mind I can't control. No, I can't stop thinking about you. If you only knew the things that I wanna do. Thirsty as fuck, you got me texting you news. So you can think about me when I'm thinking about you. I can't stop thinking about you. If you only knew the things that I wanna do. Thirsty as fuck, you got me texting you news. So you can think about me when I'm thinking about you. I was persistent, you got distant. The whole time I'm just going off instinct. Can never forget the way you feel. In the back of my mind, I'm hoping it's still real. So if we ever reconnect, I guarantee I make sure you put some respect on my name, like how you put it on my frame. It's like you were psychic. That's right, shh, you had the night lit. Every place you kissed me was the right pick. Plus you made me feel it all up in my rib. I know you felt like you belonged in my grip. Went back home, started treating me like side chick. What happened, Captain? I know it ain't pretty, I just want an explanation, really. Cause you played me silly. And I gave you a real chance. All this time passing, I still can't. I can't stop thinking about you. Keke Kwyatt on the set. Thirsty as fuck, you got me texting you new. So you can think about me when I'm thinking about you. Cause I can't stop thinking about you. If you only knew the things that I wanna do. Thirsty as fuck, you got me texting you news. So you can think about me when I'm thinking about you. Quiet.
That was awesome. That was amazing. Let me go on this side over here. If you guys would like to follow Keke Kwyatt, let them know the
Kwyatt, Kwyatt, Kwyatt on everything. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, I'm on it.
You guys already know. You guys seen her performance live here at the House of Karma. Make sure y'all follow her. Get her album.
Absolutely. On everything. Tidal, Spotify, iTunes, Apple, Google Play.
Absolutely. And
everything.
Stay tuned. After this commercial break, we'll be right back with more Keke Kwyatt. That was good. How you feel?
Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, early in the morning. Late night raindrops sitting on the rooftop. Hold me tight, feel so right. Making love through the night. Your body's calling, here I'm for it. Say my name. Switch positions, I'm on top. You right underneath it. You stroke it twice, say it's tight. Now you on a mission. Scream my name through the pouring rain. Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, early in the morning, early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, early in the morning. He says round two now, go and face the mirror. Spread my legs as his head hits the right position. I love this game, we always play. The love we make is just so insane. Take control, no lose control, we back at it again. I'm taking shots, call love, we pop, who knows when we gon' stop. Such a shame, the way you do your thing blows my brain. With this love we make, Tommy and get smacking, call it foreplay. Blows my brain. With this love we make, Tommy and get smacking, call it foreplay. Sexing while we yawning, baby. Sex in the morning, good morning. Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, sexing while we yawning. Early in the morning, early in the morning.
Hey guys, welcome back to House of Carma. A little loud there. You guys, if you guys are just tuning in, you missed a performance by Miss Keke Kwyatt. Oh my God! I swear to God, the whole show went by and I still messed up on your name. I'm so sorry. Quiet, okay. It's because you know what, the way that you spell it, I thought the K was silent. So that's my excuse. That's my statement. I'm gonna stick to it. Make sure you guys vote for her for the 2020 LDM Independent Music. Can I say that? I'm sorry, LDM Music Awards Show. We can't say independent no more, even though she is an independent artist. Just some people with the some legal stuff, you know. But yeah, make sure you guys vote for her and vote for her so she could be a nominee at www.ldmradio.com. So Keke, are you ready for after the show? We have I have a podcast called Petty Talk, and that one is unfiltered. Everything is what whatever goes. But I would like to remind the audience also to make sure you guys get your tickets to the LDM Music Awards show. It's selling out fast. I do have 2 tickets that I will be giving away, but you guys gotta listen to Petty Talk to find out how to go about it. How do you feel? And can you remind the audience where they can find you and find your music at again? Let me just see if yours is on. Yep, it's on. Yeah, she's on. There
Is
it
it
is.
in the right?
Quiet. You was really quiet.
I know. So I'm Keke Kwyatt, Kwyatt. My album is called The Suicide Mixtape. It's on everything: Tidal, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, and any other one that I may have forgotten right now. It's on all of them. So check me out. It's dope. It's the sexiest suicide ever.
And remind them to vote for you again.
Yes, and vote for me for the LDM Music Awards.
Yes.
LDM Radio Music Awards. So I can, so you'll see more of me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you did a great job.
Thank you.
I love your story.
Thank
I
you.
love your personality. Your vibe is dope. What advice would you give up and coming artists, female artists that are coming into the industry that want to get in the game, want to fulfill their dreams?
I would just say determination is everything, but discipline is even more than that, because again, you have to see your ideas through to completion. We have all the seeds already, but when you plant them, you're not going to see the plant grow, perhaps, because it's a gradual process. So you just have to have determination, patience, and most importantly, discipline. If you really want something, you got to make that determination. Listen, this is what I'm working towards, and make steps toward that. Even if they're small steps, as long as they're steps in the right direction.
Absolutely. So, things don't happen overnight. So just keep
That's
working on your
important.
craft.
Patience is definitely a virtue. And like I said, we plant the seed today. It's not going to be a tree tomorrow. And you have to understand that. You have to know that. You have to water it, and you have to take care of it, and you have to fertilize it and cultivate it, and then it will grow into hopefully what you want it to be.
Absolutely. And it's very important also to have people who motivate you and inspire you around you, because we're living in a time and day and age where people are so mean.
Yeah, definitely.
And
hate is very strong. It's a very strong thing.
It's real.
But the fact is, no one is hating on you unless you're doing something right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's very important to know that too.
So you completed your album.
Yes.
What's next for you?
What's next for me? Honestly, I have a new video that should be coming out soon.
Oh, okay.
It's for track number 5, which is called "Coming in Your Mouth." Pardon me. Pause. That's the name of the song. So look out for that video. It's actually it's being edited, so that'll be out soon. And I'm kind of just going with the flow on it. Unfortunately, we're artists, but we're still independent artists. We still have lives, that we have to take care of, things like that. So, but I'm hoping also to branch off into more acting. And I want to be, on the other side of the camera too. I want to edit videos and direct videos and things like that also. I just want to put my creativity to the max. Whatever I can get out of it, I want to just pull it out of me,
Absolutely.
I'm planning on putting together a book, which will be a collection of erotic stories. So look out for that too. Yeah, I'm a bit overdue with that, but I'm putting it out there now so that people will help me stay on point and be like, hey, where's that book? So I'm going to be working on that too. Yeah.
That's awesome. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was actually one of a book cover model for an erotic book called Stuck Between Different Worlds by author E.L. Discipline.
I'm going to check
Make
that
sure
out.
you guys check it out. Buy it on Amazon.
I'm going to check that out.
Authorhouse.com, I believe it is as well.
Okay.
It was a fun experience. I had nothing to do with the book. I was just a model.
Right.
But
did you read it?
I did read it. I'm still reading. It's really good.
Okay.
It's really good. So I'm all for all of that stuff.
Okay, good.
I believe.
Yeah, because I think everyone likes to be listening to something or watching something that they probably feel like they shouldn't.
Yeah,
sometimes.
naughty.
You give you like a little feeling like you're being a little naughty,
Yeah.
So it's alluring.
It's funny because my 11-year-old daughter, she had some books in her room, and she goes, "Mom, I think you would like this book." And it was a book from Zane, and I'm like, "What are you doing with this book, girl? Give me." And she
I
was
think
like,
Zayn might be an inspiration to me too. I like her writing.
yes, she was like, Mom, I don't know. I said, wait, did you read through this? Did you read this
She
book?
can't be reading
She was
no
like,
Zayn.
no, Mommy, I swear I didn't read it. I just thought that you would like it. I was like, where did you get this book from? So one of my clients, I guess, had a whole bunch of books and gave them to her.
So yeah,
but
okay.
she was smart enough to say, okay, I don't think I should be reading
Right.
this
Well, good
one.
for her. Good
And
for
let
her.
me tell you that it was such a good book. I think I finished it in like a week.
Yeah, I'm like that with Zayn books too. Like I eat them. Like don't. Where's the next one? You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I definitely feel you on that. Well,
Yeah.
I wish you lots of luck on your
Thank you
future
so much.
endeavors. Keep on with the music.
so much.
Keep on. You can do all things through
This
Christ
is
who
awesome. I
strengthens
had a
you.
blast. I had a pleasure being
And
here.
I absolutely appreciate you
Thank you
for
so
coming.
much.
And hopefully, you can come back with
Yeah,
some
I'm sure. I would love to
new
come back.
stuff.
I would love to come back. Absolutely.
And I would love to see her on as a
Yes,
nominee for
yes,
the
vote for
LDM
me, vote
Music
for me.
Awards for 2020.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Listen to her song. What's the name of the song?
Can't stop.
Can't Stop
Mhm.
on the LDM radio. And after this, you tune in to ldmradio.com for Petty Talk. We're going to be talking about Central Park 5, amongst other little petty stuff that people do that is...
Yeah, Central Park 5, that's a good topic too.
Yeah, that I couldn't even finish watching. I started watching like
so
5
far
minutes.
I watched part 1 and 2. So I'm kind of pacing myself because it's a lot. It's very
a lot,
emotional. Yeah, definitely.
I started watching 5 minutes and my husband was like, "We not turn that off. This is pissing me
Well,
off."
it's
wanna
kind
watch
of, you
this no
gotta
more.
like schedule when you're gonna watch it because you know you're gonna be kind of put through that kind of emotional strain.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like you don't want to watch it before you go to sleep and then have that on your. It's weird, but I think we have a duty to watch the movie, to hear the stories of these kids. It's the least that we can do,
Right. I
for
just
everything
feel
that
like
they've been through.
for all the screenwriters and producers out there who want to write movies, I think that we should start writing movies of what the white people have done. Because we see so much of what the African Americans
Right.
and all the other races
Again,
have gone,
it's
especially
programming
African
and conditioning. Yeah.
we see everything that they've gone through, but what about, let's see what these people did to get ahead, to get to where
Right.
they are, because
Right.
a lot of them.
I mean, that lady,
stepped
what
on-
is her name? Linda, what's her name? Fairstein? I don't remember the last name. But she's catching all this heat right now and being asked to step down from whatever the heck it is she does now. But yeah, I mean, you doing these evil things help propel your career into where you are now. So being stripped of that, you kind of deserve it,
Absolutely. But we're going to talk more about this topic. Log on to ldmradio.com and listen to Petty Talk, and we're going to continue this conversation. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
You guys
everyone,
heard it. You guys seen it here first at the House of Karma.
Absolutely.
Make sure you guys tune in next week, every Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. on the LDM radio. LDMnetwork.com. Sorry. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
I'm your karma. Us as females, sometimes we gotta let each other know how to treat a man and how to keep a man.